According to the treasure map, the sword should be around here somewhere.
Why are there so many Tic Tacs? Are they having a party? They look really angry. No need to be afraid, Ying. We'll keep you safe. You probably don't know this, but Woolly Warrior once met a huge cat monster 100 times stronger than her, and she was so scared that her legs were trembling. Really? That's right. But even so, she stood her ground. Because she had all of her friends behind her, she had to fight. Just like the situation we're in now. You can't let a few small TDs beat you down.
Let's make this quick, Encore. Leave it to me. Endure.
You two were incredible. You betcha! Wait till you see what else we can do. Am I right, Rover? We'll take on anything they chuck at us. Quick, let's check and see if the sword's around here. Is that some kind of puzzle over there? Do we need to put something inside of it to activate it? Oh, it's a bit too high for Ying and me to reach.
I got it. Looks like we just need to place the treasure map on top.
Whoa, there's another puzzle.
Was it not in the story before?
Well, random twists and moments do happen here and there. It's an adventure after all. We're so high up. This is even higher than any of the climbing games Mom and I used to play. Just keep looking ahead and it won't be as scary. It's easy. Here, watch. Time for Encore's aerial recon! So, is this the sword in the story that can slice through anything? It's the mountain-chopping sword of courage. The sword's actually made out of wood. And it's missing a small piece too. Look, there's a letter. What does it say? My dear little warrior, you found the first relic. Right now, you must be thinking, what a plain-looking sword. How could this ordinary wooden sword possibly be the legendary sword of courage? Don't feel disappointed just yet. Think back on what you've been through so far. All the challenges you faced along the way. The waves under your feet felt so high to you, and the treasure chest above seemed ever so far away. Yet still, you continued to climb the mountains every step of the way until you finally reached the peak. Your courage has been heard. And this seemingly ordinary wooden sword is the proof of your courage. Yeah, that's what it says in the letter. How did you know, Encore?
Did it also appear in other Woolly stories?
Anything else? Did the letter mention any clues about the next relic? We still have 2 to go.
Yes. It goes on to say, "Oh, little warrior, your adventure doesn't end here. To have your wishes come true, courage alone is not enough. You need not look far, as the shield that symbolizes faith is buried right beneath your very feet. In a land covered in sand, treasures may lay, or there may be nothing at all. A land covered in sand."
I know just the place.
Then let's go check it out. Sounds like it'll be a treasure hunt in the sand. We're here! At long last, the brave adventurers reach their second destination, and thus they start a hunt for the legendary Shield of Faith on this sand-covered beach. They say only the bravest adventurers can find it, as it puts their will to the test. Yeah, that's the spirit. Ying can go left, Encore will go right, and you can take care of the middle. If anyone finds anything interesting, show me and we can take a look at it together.
Okay.
There has to be more, right?
Not this one either. Just some ordinary shells. I don't think they count as shields. Encore seems to be really sure about it. But do you really believe that the Gateway of Wishes exists? That's what Encore said too. But I keep on thinking, could it just be a story? When I first saw that sword, I was getting a feeling that it might just be a game Mom left for me. Grown-ups always tell me that there's no such thing as a Gateway of Wishes. It only exists in imagination.
Remember what Encore said before? As long as you believe, everything that happens in the story can be real. But before we make our decisions, how about we search a bit more?
Okay, I see. Thanks. I should keep looking for the shield. I wonder where it is in all this sand.
Did you find the shield? Oh, me neither. Ying even came over and asked me if the shield truly exists. What do you think? We're thinking the same thing! It's because the treasure map was given to Ying by her mother. And she did it so that Ying's wishes could come true. Encore is absolutely certain that the shield is out there somewhere. And that's why Encore will keep looking for it.
Bingo. This has to be the Shield of Faith. There's a letter attached to it. I should bring it over to Encore and Ying.
Woolies, let's race! Well, did you find the shield? Way to go! I know who to call if I ever need to find something. I'll go get Ying.
This should be the shield mentioned in the story.
It's also made of wood.
But look how well made it is! With the sword of courage in one hand and the shield of faith in the other, it's an invincible combo. The person who crafted this shield really knew their stuff. Time for clues about the next relic, the Wreath of Hope. Hurry! Ying! What does it say?
Okay. Let's see here. It says... Congratulations again to you, my little warrior. Although the bulk of your efforts were in vain, you did not give up and continued searching. Hence, this shield of faith is your well-deserved reward. If you ever feel lost in the future, why not take a moment and ponder on the meaning of your journey? The firm belief in our hearts shall guide us through darkness until we reach the light of hope. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how can you find the Wreath of Hope? Bring with you your wishes and proceed to the Garden of Promise.
The garden?
The Garden of Promise. Oh, I think I might know where it is.
Fantastic! Then that's our next stop. Onwards!
This is it.
This place, feels empty. There's nothing here.
It is now. But it used to be filled with irises. This is my mom's garden. She used to love flowers and would plant a lot of them when she wasn't busy. Before she left, she asked me to help look after it and said she'd come see it with me when she's back. I watered them every day, hoping they could bloom longer. But these flowers only bloom for a short time. They all withered in the end. Dad told me, "Don't be sad, sweetie. It's the natural cycle of life." I understood that, but it always reminds me of my promise to Mom. I miss her so much. Now I see this shield and sword are all treasures that Mom left me. And here, I think she probably wanted to make a wreath with me using those flowers.
Oh, Ying.
Thank you, Encore and Rover. Actually, when I saw Dad looking sad while holding the map, I had the feeling that Mom might have left this treasure map to play a game with me. Maybe it is like what the grown-ups say. The gateway of wishes doesn't exist, and I may never get to see her again, talk to her, and tell her how much I've grown. But Mom must have wanted to give me a surprise. to make me happy. I am happy. Because we managed to find all the treasures she left behind together. I'll definitely find a nice place to keep this sword and shield safe. I think we should end our adventure here. Thank you, Encore and Rover.
Our captain hasn't announced the end of our adventure yet. And you're thinking about leaving already? Well, okay then. Let's call it a day right here. There's some stuff I need to wrap my head around too. I remember you asked me about the ending of the Woolly Warrior, right? Even though we finished finding the relics, Team Woolly's adventure goes on. There's still plenty of stories to tell. I know! How about you come to Encore's story session tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow? You mean right here?
Yeah, if you want to find out what happens to Team Woolly, come over and listen to the rest of the story. Be there or be square.
Okay then. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yup! See you tomorrow, Ying. Do you think this is a good ending to the story? Yeah. After all, Ying didn't receive the wreath, and she didn't get to see her mother, even though in the end, the little warrior did manage to collect all of the relics left by her, realizing her mother's intentions. But Encore still feels like something's missing. In this ending, she didn't even make it to the Gateway of Wishes. Just like in the story of the Woolly Warrior. What do you think? Will the Woolly Warrior's wish come true in the end? If it comes true, then she should be able to see her family again. After such a wonderful and interesting adventure, she must have so much to say to them. But actually, there is no true ending to Woolly Warrior's story. Remember the play Ying told us about when she showed us the treasure map? Ying said she'd already forgotten what most of the play was about. All she could remember was that the hero had been searching for a legendary treasure to make their wishes come true. Ha! I knew straight away that the treasure map wasn't for the Woolly Warrior's sword. But it was a gift left to her by Ying's mother. Want to guess how I found out? Yeah, that play was about the Woolly Warrior's story. And I remember each and every part of it because that play was a gift from my mom. Now time for a story from Encore. In this story, there are no exciting adventures, no terrifying monsters. It didn't happen once upon a time, and it's not somewhere far, far away. Rather, it's in a little room. Every night there's a little girl. She plays games with her mother, playing as the Woolly Warrior. Together, she and her mom create story after story about courage and hope. It also happens in a theater. Every day, the little girl sits below the stage. The curtain rises and the music plays. She watches her mother set everything up, bringing the Woolly Kingdom from the story into real life. Little by little, the Woolly Kingdom becomes real, and the Woolly Warrior sets off on her adventure. She first climbs the tallest mountain, looking for the legendary sword that can split mountains and seas. But it's really so the girl can prove how brave she is. The toolbox was actually on the tallest shelf. The Woolly Warrior also searches every beach, looking high and low for the shield of faith that could brave any storm. Her house had many nooks and crannies after all. The raspberry candy her mom hid could be anywhere. Her mom recorded all the Woolly Warrior's adventures, so the Woolly Kingdom grew bigger and bigger, and the stories grew longer and longer. They even performed the play in many cities. But the little girl's mom got sicker. At the last show, just before the Woolly Warrior got the wreath of hope, the show ended, but there was no encore. Mom told me that once the applause starts at the final show of our tour, she'd take me onto the stage to make a wish. But she collapsed before the play ended. I was so scared. I tried to come up with ways to make her feel better. I even kept a daily to-do list. At the time, I thought that if I stayed a good girl like the characters in the stories, Mom would get better and better. But her illness got worse. She didn't get better, and the Gateway of Wishes never appeared. Encore didn't know what to do anymore. Mom just asked me to sit by her bed and tell her stories. So I told her about Warrior Cosmos, Fairy Cloudy, and many other things. She always smiled each time. It was right around that time when Cosmos and Cloudy appeared from the stories. Mom told me they're a part of life, and these stories will always be with me. After she left, Encore had to become the Woolly Warrior, going on adventures on her own. Whether it was in the orphanage or with the Black Shores, Encore would write down everything she experienced. With these stories, Mom will know what kind of adventures Encore had and all the friends Encore made. Later on, Encore wanted to continue writing the Woolly Warrior story, but this time, it's a bit different from before. Now she has her own friends that she can adventure together to find the Gateway of Wishes. Because finding that gateway is the only way she can tell all her stories to her mom. So, she knows how well she did. That's why. Yeah, she said she had a lot to say to her mother. Oh, just like me. There's so much Encore wants to say, and so many stories that Encore wants Mom to hear. Our time with Ying reminded me of all of that. Even though Woolly Warrior's story has no true ending, will Ying's be any different? Will she be able to make her wish come true? In the end, Ying said the adventure is over, and it's just a story. She said she was happy and satisfied with that. But Encore saw that look on her face. She looked really, really sad. Encore knows how it feels. Just like how it used to be. No matter what Encore did, Mom wouldn't get any better. My stories were the only things that could make her feel happy. It was Mom who made me understand the power of stories. That's why after I went on this journey alone, Cosmos and Cloudy came out of the land of imagination. And it's why Encore told Ying that our adventure should not end like this. This story deserves a better ending. Oh, Rover. Agreed. The story must have an ending. But what should we do? Oh, there's no way we can bring Ying's mother back. I mean, the Gateway of Wishes doesn't actually exist in real life. In the story?
I remember Cloudy said that if you ever find yourself in a pickle in real life, you can always go back to the Woolly Kingdom to search for clues. You also mentioned that's where the Gateway of Wishes is hidden, right? And you've always wanted to finish writing the story of the Woolly Warrior. This means the final stage of the story should be set inside the Woolly Kingdom.
Encore sees what you mean. Encore can invite you and Ying into the Woolly Kingdom and go on a real adventure with me, the Woolly Warrior. But the kingdom isn't some place you can go willy-nilly. Only those who believe in the kingdom can visit. We should make a wreath for her and let her know that our adventure is not over yet. Encore remembers it went something like this. The wreath is a crown of flowers that can reflect a person's thoughts. Never withers, forever blossoming. How are we gonna make it? You mean Verina? That's right! Verina loves flowers. She's a flower's best friend. Let's see if she has any ideas.